Pain Train Pipe Bomb, you bastard.
Notification that we are on live, bitches. Live.
Creators of Pain Train present to you an announcement that will blow up the radio world. Our show is now available on the following apps: Tribulation Saints Podcast, podbean.com, the PowerCast 97.9 app, and now airing on the TuneIn app. Get on it, you lazy fuckers.
It's that time, once again, put the women and children to bed. It's Pain Train Pipe Bomb on PowerCast 97.9.
Warning, this audio or video may contain explicit language or extreme views. Discretion is advised.
And we are live. Let's see, hold on. Come on, there we go.
Yes, Neo.
We are live once again from the dungeon, Brooklyn, New York. It's Pain Train Pipe Bomb.
Yes. We got motherfuckers fighting each other right
Green screen, motherfucker. We got green screen.
Green screen.
I mean, our radio fucking people can't watch it, but everything is fucking just awesome. It's fucking amazing. We even have a special guest in fucking studio today, sitting in the middle between the original cast members.
Original crackhead, what?
KRIS Rex is now on the show.
Yes! KRIS Rex is on the motherfucking show. Yes, Neo.
Yes, about time.
Yes, Neo.
Now, I'm not sure if it's an echo or not, but whatever. There's 3 microphones going. People said they couldn't fucking hear us.
Now you
So how is that?
There are no excuses.
You can fucking hear us.
Enzo, give me a sound check. I'll fuck with it while we're fucking doing everything. Alright. So, KRIS Rex has been waiting to get on the show, and as you can see, finally here. Chris, tell everybody about yourself.
Oh, me? I don't like to put myself over.
You have to.
All right.
You're on the spotlight.
My name's KRIS Rex. Been professionally wrestling for about 7 years now. Trained by Joel Maximo of the SAT. He was in Ring of Honor, TNA, a couple stints in WWE.
Cool.
Pretty much been traveling the United States as an independent wrestler. I've had the opportunities to learn from people like Ultimo Dragon, Jerry Lynn, Sammy Callahan, Matt Striker, Homicide. So that I've been blessed with some opportunities in this business. And
Jerry Lynn and Ultimo Dragon, two big names.
Yeah, man.
Jerry Lynn was EC. As a matter of fact, he was the one that defeated RVD for the television title.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Yo, oh my God.
So to be able to like grasp information from guys that have been doing this since I was a kid, you know, that's probably one of the best things about this business.
That's a fucking honor, man. That's.
Did you feel starstruck when you work with these guys?
Like
just like in awe of them?
Not really. I try to like when it comes to like names like Ultimo Dragon, say someone's on the card. I try not to bother them. I let them do their thing, and if there's an opportunity for me to talk to them or maybe take a photo with them,
you gotta keep it professional, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just like basically like if you're doing a movie, like whatever, like that. If you're doing a movie, you gotta keep it. Even though you want to say, "Oh my God, I work with this guy," but you're like,
you gotta keep it. You gotta maintain.
There's a time and a place.
Exactly.
Right. Like if you see the guy sitting there getting ready and getting geared up, go, Hey man, so what do you think about
Nah, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely
You
not.
gotta maintain that professionalism
That's
to
right.
some
That's
extent.
right. That's right.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's hard. It's kind of hard not to mark out sometimes.
No,
you know?
of course, no. Listen, man. Hey, listen. We all get Star
A
Trek.
funny story about the Ultimo Dragon seminar we did.
Ooh. Let's hear it.
We were in there and I was working with some kid. We had to do little mini matches, and
Were you a midget?
no.
Oh,
I do want to work midgets though.
I would fuck a midget.
But we must have had like 30, 40 people in this seminar.
Was some of the midgets too?
No,
Okay.
no midgets. That's actually more in California.
You're gonna put them in your equipment bag.
But,
I'd fuck a midget chick. They got big asses, man. That's what it is. Spend more money time riding.
Wow.
Like, genuine jockey.
But we're in the ring training, and after about we did maybe about 2-hour seminar. After he goes and he starts speaking, he goes, "I'm 45 years old, and I look better than everybody in this gym." And I was like, "Oh man, like
Yo,
put us in our place there."
Yo, real talk. Now, some of them in their 40s, man, the wrestlers, they.
You know what? There's something in that Japanese water, because you can meet a Japanese wrestler in his 50s, in his 60s, and he still looks better than like a 22-year-old.
Dude. Let me tell you something about in Japan.
It's genetics, partly.
Like I said, no, in Japan, what happens in Japan, you gotta realize, these guys, they train, first of all, some of them, they train Okinawan style, they do karate, kyokushin, whatever like that. You know, these guys, like, you got old guys still doing katas. Like, and I've seen videos, these guys, and you look at them, they're like, they old ain't shit. Let them motherfuckers punch you.
Yeah.
Let them just do this, like a finger jab to you. And you be like, oh, shit. You know, these guys, they condition themselves. But also, too, like, it's also their diet of what they eat. You know, they eat very, a little different, unless it's sumo wrestlers. But
I have
No, he's right.
I have so much more respect for the Japanese wrestlers because of
hell yeah.
how much like they put into it, how much pride they take. It's not just going in the ring and doing your moves. To them, it's everything from training to working out to how they eat.
Yeah.
Like I just came back from the spring camp for New Japan Dojo out in LA. They just opened it up, and the whole week there's a 5-day camp, and most of the time you're just working out. Like, screw the in-ring work. That, like, you're sitting there in the morning, you're doing 200 squats, you're doing lion push-ups, you're running circuits, and then maybe in the afternoon, the last half of the day, you're in the ring.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they condition themselves.
It's basically like competition fighting. Like, like when I used, like me, because me, a little something about me, like you guys probably know. Well, Jim probably know and Rick knows.
Yeah.
I used to do like, like, I won't say full contact, like semi-contact fighting, like years ago. Like when I was like slim, I was like in my 20s at the time. And I was doing what's called sanda. Sanda basically, it was basically training kickboxing. You punch, kick, throw, stuff like that. And the training I had to do for that, trust me, dude, I totally understand. And that's also right now, I was doing, I done jiu-jitsu, not Japanese jiu-jitsu. And them dudes, when they train, like when you train Japanese jiu-jitsu, it's the training is crazy. Like your joints, you're taking the fall. I know if you're taking them falls, it's like, oh my god, what the fuck? Like you getting whacked. I mean, you gotta take off the top rope. You gotta also throw yourself, and also to like leverage and see the only benefit of being small at the time when I was smaller, when I was like I'm like $140.
I can tell he has regret to being big now.
Now, yeah, man, for real. But now it's like, back then, the falls are easy, whatever like that. Now when you try to do that shit when you're older, it's like, ow. Ow.
Yeah,
Oh, man, I can
that's
only
why
imagine.
you brought up the diet in there, and I remember
What the fuck?
You ruined my shine, kid.
I know, right?
But there was this one meal we had out there that they made us called chanko nabe, and what it is, it's like a soup, and it literally translates to hot plate. And what it is,
Japanese spices.
And it's a soup where they have chicken, they have beef, they have pork, there's chicken broth, they have pretty much every vegetable you can think of.
That sounds good.
And what it is they actually feed it to the sumo wrestlers to help them gain weight. And with the sumo wrestlers, the difference is the sumo wrestlers don't eat four-legged animals because they have to stay on 2 feet.
Right.
So being able to experience
everything has to be like either fish or chicken.
Yes. Two-legged animals because they have to stay on 2 legs.
Of course.
So
except for humans. I'm just saying, it's 2 legs. You know, we're not talking about humans now.
You never know, though.
So just to update the viewers and listeners who are not paying attention to the title of what the YouTube video is, KRIS Rex has joined us this week for the show. He's going to be here for both shows.
Yeah.
Double duty.
And to give a little bit of a background, I have pretty much known KRIS my entire life and his entire life.
Todd said the volume is too low.
Well,
That's taken care of.
everything's all the way up, and I'm not tinkering with anything.
Sean!
I've already done that.
Yo.
And I kind of made a joke, and KRIS will kind of agree with this. I've kind of known KRIS since he was a sperm.
Wow.
I have known him literally.
You see the tail? You see the tail?
So that pretty much shows how much family there is in this room right now, because I've known him his entire life. In fact, I've actually, when he was a little kid, we used to throw him around the room.
Oh dear.
But
now it's your turn to throw him around, yes?
Yo, it paid off now. Yo, it paid off.
In fact, we went to Survivor Series.
Oh boy.
And SummerSlam. And after we got back from the pay-per-views at Madison Square Garden, we kicked the shit out of him. We put him in figure fours. We did freaking tombstones to him.
How many times did y'all aim to throw me to the couch and miss the couch?
Yeah, in fact, wall, floor.
Plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going
Wait a minute, Jim. Remember I used to do wrestling also years ago.
You used to do backyard wrestling with Chris Arvello.
Not backyard wrestling, but it was a ring. Oh God.
Y'all backyard.
Oh my God.
Y'all backyard.
The history of
No. It was a real ring. It was a real ring, like a ring. But they had to shut it down because some dude did a what was it? What's the move that Billy Kidman did again? Shooting star press. And apparently he didn't go all the way.
Oh.
Yeah, so they had to shut that. They had to shut that place down.
That's why you got to train. That's why you got to get proper training for this.
So
no, you're right, and that's so true. That is so true. No bullshit. He's right.
We got people. You know what? If everybody wants us to go to WrestleMania next year, pay for our tickets.
Yeah, we should start a fund to GoFundMe. Yeah,
let's start a GoFundMe to go to WrestleMania.
WWE
I've actually
WrestleMania will
never
welcome Pain Train PIPEBOMB.
been to a WrestleMania, and it's like always been on my bucket list.
I can actually say I have been at a WrestleMania, and it was WrestleMania 24 in Orlando.
Orlando, yeah.
And it was the fucking awesomest thing because I got to see 36 people get burnt.
Yes. I was at WrestleMania.
I
was at WrestleMania 20 at the Garden when Undertaker came back as the Dead Man.
Yeah, I think WrestleMania now means so much more because of all the independent shows that run around where WrestleMania is running, like New Orleans.
It's actually hilarious because there were 38 different indie shows that weekend with Ring of Honor.
You had GCW out there.
Defiant was there. I mean, all of the little independent guys took up all of the venues in New Orleans that weekend. And it was even worse because some of the venues were double booked. So they actually had to wrestle the same day as WrestleMania in the same time slot. It was obscene.
Jeez.
So they actually did mess up that.
What it does is stuff like that. It puts more of a spotlight on indie wrestling because it's like, say you're in town for WrestleMania, and you just happen to see a flyer for, I don't know, Joey Janela's Spring Break 3 next year. You know, you're gonna be interested in that because what they do is they bring in like Joey Janela's Spring Break is like a little one of those one-off shows that was promoted by GCW, and they had Great Sasuke on there.
Wow.
Or wrestling Joey Janela. They had Pierre-Carl Alouette, one of the Quebecers. He made it, and he made a big comeback.
Quebecers?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and he was wrestling like he never lost it, like. And it's amazing that you get to see stuff that you normally don't see on any other indie card.
We have a question for you.
Hey, Chris, have you ever broken a bone from wrestling, or what's your serious injury?
What's your most serious one?
I would say my most serious one.
I was gonna ask that question too.
Back in 2012, I tore my ACL, MCL, and PCL while training. Yeah, I needed reconstructive knee surgery. I was going up for, I was practicing springboarding from rope to rope to rope. I landed it, and my foot came out. I guess the ring was slippery, and my foot came out from under me, and I knew it. I felt it.
Titan is in the room, people.
Titan. What's up,
Titan's in the room.
Damn. Oh.
That is crazy.
Just thinking about that, I'm like rubbing my knee. I'm like, ooh, God.
I don't want to go there.
I think my whole recovery time, they wanted me out for about a year, and actually I started doing DDP yoga, and because I really couldn't afford physical therapy, and
I gotta tell you, DDP
no, it
yoga
works,
is
man.
fucking insane.
I was back in.
It's
I got
insane.
injured. I had my surgery in October, November. I was back by June.
Did you do this after the yoga? You like this, right?
Actually, he actually has some of the yoga moves where you actually put up the dive and everything like that. It's pretty cool. But let me tell you, I didn't even think like I had ligaments that could be stretched like that, man. Like,
Right?
Oh yeah,
You never know
listen,
until it happens.
Well,
Yo.
hello, Titan, wherever you are.
Titan is actually the gentleman that we are working with on PowerCast 97.
The radio station, yeah. He's
he
cool
actually
guy.
watches our show.
He does.
He's entertained by us.
If you didn't, I was burning with the iron.
Oh, no,
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 the
don't.
iron here.
Oh,
Like this.
here we go.
Like this, like Clay. You don't watch our show. Me hablo dasai. Untai.
If she hasn't been here a while, she's gonna get tortured a little bit.
Him too.
As you can also see now that we have the green screen going,
He's gonna
work the arm, brother.
Yes! He's gonna turn heel on you. Watch out.
Well,
Bye.
now that we have the green screen, actually our viewers can actually see the method of having the madness of the background.
Everybody's fighting in the background. It's like a fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah, man.
We look like
minus
the,
30 people.
are we the commentators
What?
of the match?
That's what it kind of looks
Yes,
like.
oh, yeah.
Good old JR.
Oh, nice Michinoku driver.
By God! By
Michinoku
God!
driver.
By the way, he was also a wrestler, Titan,
Wow.
in Missouri. We're gonna interview him at one point about that.
Goddamn Clay.
Nice.
So
I just want to just
everybody enjoy the video. Chris was glad enough to supply us with the footage. You'll see it throughout the night, which is awesome. Somebody read the comment of the thing, so everybody.
I remember watching your
gotta be
first
somebody's-
house show as a student and the progression you've made, and can't wait to see you tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah, throw out a quick promo somewhere now. If
Yeah, I mean, actually, tomorrow night for fans here in New York City,
promo the titties.
I'll be wrestling in Bronx, New York for a new promotion called Now You Create.
What time is the
Its bell time is, I believe, 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. I suck at that. Damn. And I did the flyers for them.
Oh, man.
But no, it's actually a great company, very hip hop influenced,
Okay.
and
That's the Bronx. What do you expect?
no, it's a like even the way like their graphics are done and the way they're promoting it, it's very rugged, very East Coast hip hop style.
Dude. The Bronx created hip hop. That's why.
I mean, it's a perfect place for me. And now it's been actually almost 2 years since I've wrestled in New York.
Wow,
So yeah, my last show in New York was
So,
May 6, 2016.
The one you did with Sebastian was Cage. That was in Connecticut or was that in New York?
That was actually in Connecticut.
Okay, so we have updated information from the fans.
Interesting.
All right.
It's 1123 Close Avenue in the Bronx.
There we go. Bell time 9 p.m. Thank you,
Nice.
Todd. Thank you, Todd. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have remembered that.
I want to ask you a question. Okay, another question I want to ask you. Right, I know you've been wrestling for a while. Like, have you ever taken a chair shot?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, my.
Have you taken a chair shot that actually like made you say, "Oh shit"?
No, because I try to protect myself. I mean,
Smart man.
Do you blade?
No, not at all, man.
Whoa.
I mean, it's. I'm not really cool with that idea, especially if I've never done it before. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and get, and now I got this big ass gash.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
Also,
they say it's like a nick. It's like
a little prick.
Like
But
when you
Just a little prick.
it's a little
prick. But
Have you ever cheated in a match?
Of course.
Whoa.
Of course he had.
You win any way you
Yo,
can.
of course he can. I mean, of course he did. Like one of the
I think
do or
actually one of my
die.
favorite finishes was I did the Eddie Guerrero finish to Sebastian Cage,
Eddie
which was the
Guerrero,
lead
oh
up to
my
that
God.
Connecticut match. He's super over and the crowd just booing me. They're all about him. He's the hot new sensation. And we had a ref got knocked down. I said, screw it, I'm gonna go out and get the chair.
No. You know a match I liked? What I saw, it was you and Logan Black. Where Logan Black he got disqualified because he put the chair on the
Yeah, he put the chair in the corner and just ran me head first into that chair.
Then
man.
then after that what you call it, you was knocked down. Then afterwards he started fucking with the ref.
And the referee body slam.
Yeah, he body slammed that shit.
Yeah, man.
That was a good. That was a good match.
Like that.
That was a good match. I've seen that match, yo. There's another match too that I think it's the same one that Logan Black. No, I think it was the tag team match. It was you and Snot. Where Logan Black he put the person down like in the front whatever like that, and then he goes up like the top rope with a fucking elbow drop.
Yeah, that was actually against me. Yeah.
Yo, that shit, I was like, oh.
By the way, as I'm watching the promo video, you need to call the guy that made your promo video and fire him because he spelled Instagram wrong.
Great.
All right.
Instagram. You're fucking starting a new trend.
Really?
Yeah, I was just actually
Another
watching
question
it.
in the comment section
I'm
is
like,
any
what
tables,
is
chairs,
this?
or ladders?
I've been through one table, which was actually the funny story with that.
Bring
This
it.
I
It
gotta
was
hear.
when I was with when I had the Snot. It was me, Rude Boy Riley, and Logan Black.
Yeah.
They were going for the FSW tag team titles against his team, the Opposition.
I like Logan Black. He's
we
fucking
had
crazy.
We had this spot where I was gonna go through the table towards the end of it, and I was supposed to go straight over from the top rope. Well, I go straight over from the top rope, and I just completely missed the table.
Oh.
So and I got pissed. So I'm like, yo, you guys are gonna do it again. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do it again. He was like, all right. They powerbombed me through the table. Went through perfect.
Does a power bomb through the table hurt more than it looks?
Yeah.
Oh man,
yes.
I'm not sure if I want to imagine.
Yes,
that.
I'm taking first of all, taking a power bomb is.
What would the number of the pain scale be? 1 to 10?
Honestly,
Would
for
it be
me,
10?
everything all feels the same now, man.
Really?
My back is just so used to taking the bumps that
yeah.
it just all feels the same.
I thought it's like I said, I'm not doing
When
jiu-jitsu.
you first,
it's the same
I
thing.
will actually vow for this because I've taken too many. When you first start taking bumps like that, you're not used to it.
You become sore.
But the more time that it's repetitious
Your body
enough,
just absorbs it.
your body just says, you know what, I've done this fucking 30, 40 times before.
Yep.
I
You
can take
become
like fucking
immune.
20 or 30 of them a night, and it's great.
You build immunity.
Yeah,
That's
I've
it.
actually in a
it's all
table
muscle definition. And
in a
memory.
TLC match. I've actually been thrown into a wall by Dan Moff. He's a legend on the New York independent scene.
Sure.
We had this thing where I used to do DJing for Fighting Spirit Wrestling, and so it's kind of hard doing DJing and working out matches.
You go out the ring. Oh shit, I gotta change the song.
I go down and they're talking out the match, and they're like, and he's going to the wall, and I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, you're gonna take the wall spot.
Wow.
You know the wall spot? I was like, yeah, it was pretty much he takes you, and military presses you, and tosses you straight to the wall. Man,
You were also
Well, we do
asked,
have a question here.
do you train every day? How many hours?
What's your training regimen? That's better.
Back when I first started, I was in there every day after work. I would get out of work at 5 p.m., shoot straight over to the gym, and I'd be there till like 10 p.m. And then I was living in the
5
gym,
hours.
so I was constantly training every day when I was living in the gym.
Yeah.
Now I've been on the road more and working as a tag team and everything. So it's kind of the training is slowed down, but being in the ring and let's say you get there before show starts. You get in there, you can get time to work with your opponents.
Right.
Maybe
You have to rehearse
work out,
everything.
yeah.
Right, exactly.
But as far as the training regimen,
Warm-ups.
it depends on who you're learning from or the school you go to. Not everyone is going to have the same criteria.
Here's an interesting one.
Do you ever have an altercation with a fan before or after a match?
Good question.
No.
Good question.
No, not really.
Matter of fact, you know what? Since we're going to that, since everybody don't know who you really are, since some of us here know, what's your finishing move?
Well, as a singles wrestler, my finisher is the Michinoku driver.
And guys, the Michinoku driver. If you guys ever watch old wrestling, like Taka Michinoku.
There it goes, right there on the video.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite wrestlers. Also, I like.
We have a caller.
Oh, we
Hey.
do.
Oh, here we go.
You're on the pipe bomb.
Hey guys, it's Carol.
That's my sister.
Hey.
Hi, Carol.
How you doing,
Hey,
Carol?
Carol.
Hey, how's it going? Chris, congratulations on your NYC debut, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, actually, it's a re-debut because it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years.
Well, now not so much a debut, but more of a homecoming. So welcome
Yeah,
back.
that's exactly what I feel like. Homecoming. Thank you. Thank you.
But who are your influences when it comes to starting wrestling? I know you said you started wrestling for 7 years now, but who are your influences, your mentors?
Oh, that's a good question.
Anything in that particular?
Influences definitely, like, who made me want to be a wrestler was...
What was your inspiration, or who was your inspiration?
Number one, Shawn Michaels. It is
I've seen that. I've seen it in your super kicks. I've seen it in your super kicks. That's why. And you got the whole hairstyle.
But as far as an in-ring performer, he's the GOAT. He's one of the best.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Another one is Bret Hart.
Yeah, of course.
Big fan of Bret Hart.
Of course.
But other maybe some people that you may not know is my trainer, Joel Maximo. He's my mentor. He's one of my best friends. He's a brother to me. And he used to team with a guy named Amazing Red, who's known out here in the New York independent scene. Those guys really made me want to be a wrestler, especially Red, because he was always a small guy.
Yeah.
And when I seen that, it was like, okay, if this guy can do it, it gave me, that inspiration that I could do this too, So those are definitely huge influences. Jerry Lynn, Shane Douglas, when it comes to promos.
Shane Douglas?
Wow.
I haven't heard that name in fucking years.
ECW.
That's ECW, man.
Yeah.
Yo, that's like along with Chris Candido. God rest his soul.
Yes.
Chris Candido.
Oh my God.
Balls Mahoney.
Balls is actually one of the nicest guys you would ever meet. Rest in peace. I've met him a few times.
Yeah.
And he was like one of those guys that he would give his shirt off his back.
I believe it.
So your TNT partner is calling you out on the chat.
Oh, my partner, John Pun. I have the greatest tag team partner in the world. I'm not even kidding. He's one of my best friends in life. And he's been a huge supporter since day one. And
I met John. I met him.
Yeah. We've had the opportunity to team up now for the last 2 years as a Scumbag Nation, and it's been so fun. I mean,
driver.
I remember when Ricky and I were with you guys in DIW back in the day.
Back
you
when
guys
we were backyarders.
You guys were Brooklyn's finest. I remember that.
Wait a minute. I did meet you before then. Because actually, him and I went down. I think it was you and I went down there. I wanted to try out.
We all did.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Pun he's like my wingman. If
you remember
we have that chemistry in the ring, that if I see him in the turnbuckle, I can just look in his eyes and I know what he's thinking, what he's going to do next. That's not even because we plan stuff in the back. It's more like I know his facial expressions. I know when he's mad. I know when he's thinking, I'm going to come in here and do this.
Right.
And he knows the same with me. He knows if something's off cue, and the fact that we're real life best friends plays into that.
You play well off of each other.
Oh, of course. That's what you got to do. Of course, anything like that. When you, it's like basically like
chemistry.
It's like when you basically doing martial art techniques, whatever like that. You know that person. You know that person. You have that exactly what you said.
And it's also
chemistry.
trust, support.
Oh yeah. It's harder for me for a promoter to say, hey, I'm going to team you with this guy you've never met, you don't know about.
Yeah. It's like figure skating. Pairs figure skating.
But we've been best friends for 10 years, so
there you go.
We'll sit there in the apartment,
where the trust is.
And we'll come up with our tag moves in there, and I'll be like, oh, what if you did your move, and then I came in with this and dropped that on it, and next thing you know, we got a tag combo.
Sweet. And here's an interesting question: how supportive were your parents of your wrestling career?
At first, I don't believe they really were in support of it. I don't want to say they weren't in support of it. My dad was always in support of anything I wanted to do.
Right.
He did at the time, I guess he didn't understand what it was.
Right.
And he's also putting my health, in his head too.
Of course.
But as years went on and they see I'm starting to make a name for myself and it's starting to work out for me, I think they're a little bit more accepting of it. My dad comes to shows. My dad, he'll help me whenever I can. He buys my T-shirts. He's a huge supporter now.
That's good, man. That's good. It's funny when I started the martial arts, my grandmother wasn't really too fond of it because she was discouraged me, talking about, you're gonna get killed out there and blah blah blah. I said, you know what? I want to do it because basically it's for me. It's a lot with me with that one. And even did the wrestling, she liked it. She was like, but then again, mothers or grandmothers or if females, they would not understand when men got to do.
If you have a dream in your life, mine was always to be a professional wrestler. You can ask Ricky. Ever since I'm 5 years old, what do you want to be when you grow up? It wasn't a doctor. It wasn't a lawyer. It wasn't an astronaut.
I gotta tell you though,
it was a professional
the whole time
wrestler.
growing up, again, we're not blood the way like a normal family is. But there were times where like you'd be training me like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. And I'd sit there and you're like, no, you gotta tweak this a little bit, or you gotta, you know, like you gotta be able to freaking change your timing or stuff like that.
And these stalkers are crazy fans. Stalkers are crazy. I wouldn't say I've experienced that yet, thankfully. But
no one here he asked.
Like I'm human, so there are times where I am annoyed, you know, where I don't want to be hit up by fans, you know. My first few years, like I was like that, you know. I'm like, you know, I'm in this for me. You know, I want to make money. I want to do that. But once you start, you know, progressing in your career, you realize without these fans, you don't have a career.
Exactly.
You know,
Word. Yep.
We're not going out there wrestling in front of, you know,
by yourself.
Exactly. There's audience that's paying to see
without
you.
saying for any athlete for that matter.
Yeah.
Regardless of what sport they go into.
I'm like now I'm so appreciative of fans. Yeah.
Amen.
Some places I may be a bad guy, and I'll sit there and
you still have fans.
I like to find people like wheelchairs and stuff, and I'll ask them to stand up and fight me. You know.
No,
and then after the show, they're coming up to you like, "Oh, that was so awesome! Thanks for making me a part of this." And that's when you're really like, "Damn, I made his day."
Yeah.
And that's what this is about at the end of the day.
Now, I got a question for you now. Would
go.
you prefer to be a singles wrestler or a tag team wrestler?
I mean,
That's a great question.
that is a good question because it's hard. Because I enjoy both. I've been in a stable most of my career.
Yeah.
So like working singles is always like something I look forward to.
Right.
Yeah.
But I enjoy working tag team because again, the chemistry, my partner.
Of course.
Right. Also, it's a lot easier on your body. You know, it is. It is.
It's not all on you.
You can tag in and out.
You actually get a break. You know, from
you do.
yeah. I
Multi-man matches are like the easiest matches for me to work is because it's like in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
God, Rick's a ghost. What the fuck?
And my partner, yes, we call our fans minions. It's a funny story. We were at a show in Jersey one day.
Right.
And there's like a group of fans outside, and they're just running around like, "You got the tickets, you got the fucking tickets, we need to get the tickets, we gotta get in." And they're running around like little minions. So me and him just looked at each other like, "Yo, minions," and it just caught on. And like, everywhere we go, we see these same type of fans. And I don't mean it kind of in a disrespectful way. I mean it in a funny way, you know, like
no, not at all, not at all.
That is quite
but they
amusing.
remind me of little minions.
Yeah, of course. You got your little followers.
Yeah, I mean.
Hey man, listen. The best thing to have is fans, man.
Yeah, man.
The best thing to have because just like you say, you know, they actually help you out, man. And
have you ever hurt someone on purpose or by accident?
I was gonna ask that question too.
It could go
Well,
either
actually,
way.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a quick commercial in.
All
We're
right,
gonna come
cool.
back. We're gonna talk about that, and we're actually gonna talk about the current state of sports entertainment, as they like to call it.
Call it
So
wrestling, pro wrestling, sports entertainment.
Hey, yeah.
we'll
exactly.
actually split it up
Call it
into
what
the
you
different
want.
segments.
I call it
But
fun.
we'll be right back in like 2 seconds.
Yes.
Konnichiwa, everyone. I am Sensei Haifa, and I am announcing my school. Welcome to the Sensei Haifa School of Unself-Defense, where you will learn how to get your ass kicked honorably. That's right, you will learn to block punches with your face, your ribs, your stomach, and for the men, your nutsack. You will feel it. Like right now, I shall demonstrate with one of my students that I will block the punch with my face. Wait, oh, yes. That's right, I take that in another one. Oh, that's right. That's the strength of my style. You must learn how to get your ass kicked really good. If not, you'll be a pansy. Hey, what the fuck was that? Anyway, come down to my school and you will learn how to get your ass kicked. Like so. Us.
And we are back from our lovely little commercial break.
A little soiree.
So we had a question that was asked before you took the little breather.
I fell out of frame.
Have you ever hurt someone on purpose or by accident?
Well, in the ring, sometimes accidents just happen. Like I might hit somebody a little bit too hard, but as far as like a serious injury or like purposely injuring someone, no. I would
There's
never
no intention of
purposely
that.
go in there
Right.
and put someone's their life is already at risk. So why am I going to
Of
go
course,
out there and do more than what I have to? When you're in the ring, your job is to protect yourself and your opponent.
Right.
Their life is at risk. Your life is at, and you have to trust that person with your life.
Exactly.
It's like
You trust each
it's
other.
like Samoa Joe once
Support
told
one
me.
another.
Samoa Joe, I did a seminar with him, and he said it's easy to beat the shit out of somebody who's giving you their body.
Oh dear. Here's nothing what Enzo says.
What's your take on fans doing risky moves on YouTube? I don't like it at all. Like again, I used to be a backyard wrestler, so I know what that's like.
Me too.
And now that I have that different perspective on it, I would go get training. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're doing at all.
And see also too, and not
to mention if your body's not acclimated to such strain.
You know what I tell people too, like you see the submission moves that basically that they do on television. Let me tell you something. Those aren't submissions. Those are breaks. Like it's like the sleeper hold, which is
what they call a rest hold.
Actually, the rest hold or rear naked choke hold. That shit will put you out in seconds. The ankle lock, what Shamrock used to do, I learned that. I know how to do that. Because like I said, I do jiu-jitsu also, and that shit right there, that ankle lock will snap your fucking ankle. I've been putting a knee like a knee bar, almost got my shit fucked up. Let me tell you, all the moves in wrestling, even though basically it looks cool to do, people understand that will fuck you up. That Stone Cold Stunner, that's a neck breaker. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking neck breaker. That Michinoku driver, if done right, you do it right. Yeah,
if done wrong.
If done wrong, you know what I'm saying?
That's where you get into a lot of trouble.
See, actually, it's like the Michinoku drive basically is to basically drive the person's head into the ground. So what they do basically, they push the head forward and make them go on their back. When you push their head down, they're dead. It's just like the... When
I started backyarding and everything, like I don't condone it at all. But it was a part of my life and it helped me get to where I am. But back when I was doing it, there wasn't as many schools as there were now. Now you have House of Glory, you have Creator Pro, you have schools all over New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. There's a place to go. Back when I was doing it, there was no real place to go that was local for us.
You have to go like across the country just to go to a fucking wrestling school.
I mean, there was a wrestling school, but it was out on Long Island. Getting from Brooklyn to Long Island on public transportation on a weekly basis.
Not fun.
Exactly. So now it's more open, and there's a lot of schools out there. Just join a school. Don't hurt yourself.
Not word exactly. Also, to work out.
Take his advice. If you really want to properly learn how to take bumps and how to do moves, go to an actual wrestling school.
Wrestling school, or basically just train martial arts too. Because if you had a martial art background, it's perfect. Because think about it, like you would understand a lot more. But if you just go into it and just I'm just gonna just do it like this now, right, Chris?
You gotta have
exactly, man.
And because there's also little things like something my trainer was always big on is footwork.
Oh yeah.
Everybody can do the same spot.
That's what every martial art.
But watch their feet.
Of course,
and see how crisp it would look if instead of turning their whole body, they just pivot their foot.
I'm just in awe of the fact that you are in this clip. You're wrestling Mark Henry's son.
That's actually some good friends of ours. Spirit of Detroit, great.
He's got the Decepticons of Logan on his tights.
Yeah. He's a beast, man. But they're great dudes. I loved working with them. Right. I like working with big people because it's like I'm the type of person like hit me, like don't kill me, but no. I can take it. Hit me, make it look real.
Look, he's wearing the Decepticon logo.
I just said that.
Now, my next question for you.
Exactly.
This one's a doozy. My next question for you is, when did you and Pun become first-time tag team champions? What organization? What match?
It was actually this match that's playing in the background now. Ultimate Wrestling League. It was January 13th, 2018.
Woo! Right outside.
We won the titles, but unfortunately, the promoter that we were involved with, we were actually brought in as talent originally, and then we decided to help him out, and he said he needed help with booking talent. So we brought in a bunch of talent, and long story short, we wound up getting screwed in that situation, and so did all the talent.
Sorry to hear that,
so technically we're undefeated tag team champions still.
Here you go right here.
And
fake it out.
Here you go, wee! Oh, you fell out of frame too. Where the fuck did you go?
But other than that, we haven't gotten tag and gold yet. We've been in a lot of number one contender matches,
right?
But we just haven't been able to get the gold yet, aside from UWL.
Well, you guys, you got the chemistry.
You get scared when you face a huge guy.
Somebody who's twice your size. No.
No, I definitely don't get. I actually that adrenaline gets pumping because I'm like, I know I'm about to be in a fight of my life.
You know what? I got a good question for you.
It's a fight or flight mechanism.
If you base it now, what kind of wrestler would you call yourself? Because Rick said hybrid, but then I thought you were more of a high fly, but then I was proved wrong because you told me you never.
Yeah, I don't like to just pigeonhole myself to a certain style.
Right.
Yeah,
you need to change it up a little and adjust.
Because like I said, if I'm wrestling a big guy, I can't obviously hit him with a Michinoku drive.
No.
So now I have to go off the top. I have to use my body. I have to use my quickness.
So you have to adjust accordingly.
Yes, exactly. Just like in any other fight in MMA, you have to adjust.
But yeah, it's like basically like Batman versus I don't know.
Bane?
It's like Batman versus Bane. Yeah, Bane or Darkseid.
Makes sense.
Darkseid. Yeah, exactly. So
that makes sense.
I mean,
yeah. Each match is going to be different. Now, if I'm wrestling someone that's more close to my style, more close to my weight, like
that'll be some shit. Drop kicks everywhere.
Sebastian Cage.
That's
somebody that we can go back and
guys,
forth.
Listen, I'm telling the fans, guys. Watch that match him and Sebastian Cage.
Here. I love it.
That match right there. Sebastian Cage, man, that shit, that was a good match. That was a good match. Watch this match also with it's him and Snot. Which, but I'm gonna ask you, Snot is a acronym.
Yeah.
Acronym. Yeah. What does it stand for?
It stands for Scumbag Nation of Today.
Nice.
How that all started was when I tore my ACL, MCL, when I had to get my surgery. I still wanted to be
Scumbag Nation?
No, I still wanted to be a part of the stories. I couldn't physically do it, so I still wanted to be on camera.
Hit a motherfucker with crutches.
So my trainer came up with this idea of, why don't you have your own group that you'll manage? And I said, all right, that sounds great. He said, I want y'all to be called Snot. I was like, what does it stand for? He goes, you come up with it. So I chugged a beer, and they came to me, and I said, Scumbag Nation.
Wait. What beer did you have?
Coors Light. I had a Coors Light.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I gave you.
And you have the idea. Another question. What were your thoughts on coming back to NYC wrestling?
I'm actually excited. It's the first time in almost 2 years, and that's partly due to myself and my previous actions. So yeah. I'm looking forward to a fresh start in New York City.
Good shit.
All right. So now let's kind of broaden the horizons a little bit.
Spread your ass cheeks.
Obviously, you just actually finished a stint at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo. It was in California, and obviously you see the other side of the fence, so to speak, with being the fact that wrestling in North America obviously is a lot different than the wrestling over in Japan. It's different than going into the UK. Give us your look at now. Like, you see the way that obviously WWE is, which is branched out into NXT and TNA, which is not exactly as great as it used to be.
I miss ECW.
Yes,
I love.
Give us your opinion, like the take now of the difference between the overseas wrestling, UK, and New Japan to the United States.
Well, in my personal opinion, I feel like for the longest, I guess professional wrestling was kind of taken as a joke here in America. Up until recently, I would say the last 5 to 10 years, it was kind of taken as a joke. Meanwhile, out in Canada, it's a tradition, man. Yeah. Out in Mexico, it's lifestyle. Like,
of course, Lucha Libre, yeah.
You go over to Japan, and like it's Mecca. Like, that is the number one sport out there,
right?
And
Japan,
the reason why it's like that is because
in Russia,
it's like Scorpio Sky told me while I was at the dojo. He said Japanese wrestling fans, they don't know it's fake or staged. They don't know how much of it is staged. So why tell them?
Okay.
Why tell them?
Keep deceiving them, of course.
Here in America, it's already been out there. It's staged. It's storylines. It's
now, but the Japanese wrestlers.
But my key is, if you watch, I want all of you and those watching, watch this video from Mike Quackenbush, where he's at a convention and he's talking to a whole bunch of people about pro wrestling,
right?
And how, yes, it may be fake. Yes, it may be staged. but
The
so
moves
is
are
The
real.
Walking Dead.
The moves
So
are
is
real.
Transformers.
The moves are,
You
the
know,
moves are real.
you know, screw the moves being real. You invest in these characters. The reason why Walking Dead is one of the best shows is because people invest in those stories and those characters. If you put that same mentality into professional wrestling, you can become a fan of professional wrestling.
I see
and
what
there's
you
so
mean.
many
I see what you
different
mean.
there's so many different styles and genres of professional wrestling out there. It's hard for you to sit there and say there's not one thing I like about professional wrestling. If you're into comedy, go watch Chikara. Go watch Chikara. I guarantee you cannot sit there and watch a whole Chikara thing and say there's not one thing I didn't like. There's so much wrestling out there. Go out there and find it.
Makes
it's more
sense.
than WWE. It's more than Impact Wrestling.
Of course,
it's
yeah.
it's everywhere.
I
Go
see
find
that.
a promotion you like and appreciate what they're doing.
Makes sense.
You're right. Honestly, I like what you said about the personality because, and you not spoke about that earlier. We were talking about. I love what grasps me to wrestling. A few things. One, of course, the personality, the characters. I love the gimmicks. I love them so much. I mean, me growing up as a kid watching wrestling. Who didn't like Hulk Hogan? Who didn't like Ultimate Warrior? Who didn't like Randy Savage? Who didn't like Andre the Giant? Who didn't like these guys? Also, just like I mentioned earlier, the moves.
I think we got a question here.
You have like 3 questions.
Oh, I got like 3 questions. All right.
The
Questions
first
just
one
keep
is,
pouring in like
have you
dumbass,
ever gone
so.
through drug testing before a match like WWE's wellness policy?
No, on the independent scene, you really you don't do that.
Really?
I mean, unless I don't know how it is for Ring of Honor. I've never been signed to a contract or worked for a company like that, so
Right.
I've just never been drug
Oh, we have
tested
a call
before.
coming in.
Yes.
Have you ever met any big time famous wrestlers like John Cena or The Rock? I've never met John
We actually
Cena.
have a caller on the line.
Oh, we have a caller.
You're on the pipe bomb.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Who's
Hi
calling?
guys, it's Marlena.
Hi, Marlena. How
Hey.
you been?
I'm Elena.
Am I not live on the screen right now? I feel like I'm behind or ahead.
That I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's probably
you were just talking about how wrestling is
A
fake.
leg.
Am I behind?
Well, it's been bouncing back and forth, but you can comment on it if you like.
Okay. So, yes, wrestling is fake, but it's all, you train for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, a wrong move, you can hurt yourself. So that part of it is real. So I hate when people say that wrestling's fake, because not all of it's fake. Yes, the storyline, the act, yes.
It's scripted.
But they seriously get injured.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, like
What,
that's why I
Paul?
try not to get offended because I try to educate people. I don't like to get offended and then bash people. Oh, you said it was fake.
You know
no,
something?
I take that as a time to educate.
I know.
You know something? I don't like saying wrestling is fake. I like saying more. It's scripted. It's scripted because the reason being because of the thing about
I
it.
say people are fake.
You're not kidding. Well, that's good.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually have a Kevin Anderson shirt that says wrestling is real and people are fake.
Oh yeah, Ken Anderson.
Wow.
Nah.
That's a good one. I
That's
like
funny.
that. I like
too.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like I try to educate people. Like, no, it's not fake. Yes, we're for TV, we're for YouTube, we're for whatever streaming service we're on.
well, bro, think about
Yes,
it.
there's stories. But if you ask me, like half my tag matches, I plan maybe 3 spots in those.
Well, bro, think about it.
You
too.
know, and then the rest is cold in the ring. So is that
You
really
buy-
fake?
All
No.
these wrestlers put their body on the line
Of
every
course,
day
yeah,
to
hell yeah.
entertain us people.
I mean, hello,
People
stuntman.
that enjoy watching it.
Stuntman. Hello, listen, check this out. You got also stuntman, like me. I was supposed to be doing some stunt work also, but stuntmen also too. Same thing. They go through that. But no one's saying that movie's fake.
Exactly.
I mean, come on, like, you know, at the end of the day, like,
Special effects.
listen, look, no,
Like,
no,
you know,
no,
like say the
not special
Avengers,
effects,
right?
no, stunt work.
You have the
taking
Avengers
falls.
and what's that
Oh
one?
no, I know, but there's some
Guardians of the
people-
Galaxy, right? You got
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a talking raccoon. Okay. We all know that a raccoon cannot talk.
Yeah, a raccoon, yeah.
But we all
You're
love
tree
we all
roots.
love that
Roots.
Groot. But we all love those characters, right? Because you
Yeah.
invest in them.
Of course.
They hit. There's something that hits us, you know, and like
That's right.
I like that. Same thing with wrestling. If I'm a bad guy, good, hate me. That's my character. You're supposed to hate me.
Oh,
if I'm a good guy,
absolutely.
love me,
Chris.
cheer for me.
So, Chris, let me ask you a question. Which one do you like playing?
Yeah,
better?
I mean,
The
listen,
heel or
I have
face?
2 kids. One's 6 and one is 3. And I tell them zombies, like my daughter loves scary clowns. She likes zombies and stuff like that. And I taught her from a young age. Yes, it's make-believe. It's just people in costumes. That's it. It's acting. And now, you know, I dressed my kids 2 years ago as zombies for Halloween. It was the funniest thing. Them walking around prosthetics and blood all over them. And people are like, aren't your kids young? I'm like, they love it.
Exactly. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's Halloween. It's having fun. It's having fun. What's wrong with that?
Well, anyway, I'm straightening up. I just finished cooking my bed. I'm going to go for a little bit. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.
All right. Thanks for calling, Marlena.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
But Chris, I'm a listen, from martial artist to a wrestler, I highly respect you. 100%.
Thank you, man.
You know why? Because first of all, when we spoke about Japanese wrestling, I'm like, oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because just the Japanese wrestlers, them dudes are hardcore.
Yeah, man.
Them dudes, they don't wrestle, they fucking fight. And the matches will go on and on.
That's the whole thing about like the Japanese wrestling is the whole thing is fighting spirit. They put like what they teach you at the dojo is you get into that real fight mentality.
That's right.
Like, if you do that and you show that heart of a fighter, that's their big stories out there. If you notice every match, yeah, they have their stories. This one turned on this one. Same thing as American wrestling, but it's more of the reason they're fighting is because not only the title's on the line, but not because they hate each other, but because they want to be the best.
Well,
right.
You know?
The one thing I do want to mention about New Japan
Japanese
is it's just not actual classified wrestling. They present strong style.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Strong style is not just like, okay, I'm going to touch you and you fall down. No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Those guys actually throw full contact.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Into the setup.
Look at Tajiri.
And I can't even say.
Fucking Tajiri.
There's one guy me and him are both thinking about right now.
Oh dear.
Masato Tanaka.
Go ahead, say his name.
If we're thinking about the same person, I'll go with him. Masato Tanaka.
Yes.
The Roaring Elbow.
Right. Roaring
Elbow.
Or Misawa. Misawa, legend.
I have to say, up to a few years ago when I started watching Ring of Honor. Now I wasn't in the Ring of Honor phase, the whole in the beginning when it was Bryan Danielson and Samoa Joe,
Tyler Black,
and Tyler Black.
I love Samoa Joe.
Every time you see Ring of Honor versus New Japan, you get a new perspective of how actual everything is done. I mean, I literally had gone to about 12 or 13 shows in a row, the Manhattan Center, when they had them at MCU, and you're up there close and personal and you see it all. It's a totally different eye-opening perspective watching the New Japan stuff.
Wow.
Amazing.
So if you get a chance, look it up on YouTube. It's there. It's even on Daily Motion. Oh my God, it is fucking insane.
No, and you know what else? It's like there's a small like Ring of Honor. What makes Ring of Honor so special is that crowd too. It's that you feel that rush from the crowd, man, and it's kind of like that little family, kind of like ECW used to be.
Oh my God!
That's why I like to compare Ring of Honor to ECW. It's like ECW. If ECW would have survived, with better production value.
I've always said I'd rather go to an indie show than a fucking like an arena
Chris,
show.
let me tell you something. Years ago, when ECW was around, Jim, what we always do every time at Billy's house, Friday night, we would go to Billy's house, watch ECW on TNN when he used to come on TNN.
Yeah, man. That's actually when I started actually. And it's sad because it was ending right there, but that's when I really started getting into ECW.
It fucked me up, man. Like, you know, when it started to end, I said, wow.
One of my first memories of watching ECW is actually I think it was Heat Wave 97, Heat Wave 98, when the Dudley Boys cut that infamous promo, and you teaching your daughter how to suck dick. Man.
Yo, they were hardcore.
I must have been like 8 years old.
ECW was hard fucking core. I loved ECW.
I must have been like 8 years old, and I'm at my dad's friend's house, and me and his daughter are hanging out, and we're just flipping through the channels. And remember the hot box back in the day?
Yes,
they had the hot box.
The red lighting.
Flipping through, and I just seen that, and I seen wrestling ring and wrestlers, and then I heard that. My dad heard that. He goes, "Shut that shit off! He's gonna be watching that."
No.
And then I go back and watch that today, and I'm like, I wish I could catch heat like that, man. Like,
Remember the match? We have a few more questions from the viewers. And obviously the viewers, the listeners on our radio station can't see the viewers' questions, but we have, do you get a, let's see, how much does crowd noise play into your wrestling matches?
I would say it's a huge factor. Yeah. I mean, you can plan whatever you want in the back, but if the crowd isn't feeling it and you're not getting that reaction, you got to switch game plan.
Yep.
True.
So it's like, and also you need that crowd. If I'm a heel and I'm beating the crap out of a face, I need that crowd to sympathize for that face, or else I'm not doing my job properly. Right. They're not going to boo me properly. I need them. I need that face to sit there. Come on, cheer for me, cheer. You know?
Yeah.
When they got the pain in their eye, when they're in the submission, they look at that one fan and they're grabbing out to that one fan. Fan interaction is 100% like again. This is the reason we do it. Without that reaction, why do it?
Yeah,
that's right.
True.
We also have one here. Favorite wrestling match as a fan? I think you answered that before with the Dudley Boys.
No, I would say my favorite wrestling match as a fan. I watched a lot of wrestling in my years.
Speaking of Dudley Boys, remember them against Taz, the handicap match where they had the crimson mask on?
I would say my favorite wrestling match.
Crimson mask.
All right, I'm gonna have to separate this into categories. So let's say growing up.
Right.
Let's say early '90s. My favorite wrestling match must have been Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man match.
Iron Man.
My favorite growing up.
Yes.
60. Now, towards my teenage years, this is when I first started getting the Ring of Honor and everything, and independent wrestling. It was a Ring of Honor show back in like 2002, maybe 2003. Amazing Red versus Ikuto Hidaka. Oh, that match made me like I knew I wanted to be a wrestler, but that match was like, oh, this is what the fuck I live for, man.
Put you up there.
And I would say now, like lately, we were actually talking about this outside earlier. One of the first times I really got into New Japan was, I believe it was the 2014 G1 Climax. It was Katsuyori Shibata versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Wow, your Japanese pronunciation is pretty good.
I try not to mess it up.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Very impressive.
But I mean, seeing that match, and they must have like not done a wrestling move for like the first 5 minutes. It was just them going at it. And here's Shibata. He was kind of a small guy compared to Ishii. And it's like, wow, he's going at him with the boots and the forearms.
Oh yeah.
And then by the time, I think the first bump that happened in that match must have been a regular suplex. And I was like 5 minutes into it.
You know what I couldn't stand when I used to wrestle? The fucking chops to the chest.
I love
I
love chops.
When I was small, I'm like, I mean, I could probably take them and be like, yeah, give it to me, yeah.
The knife edge chops you're talking about?
Yes, I used to hate them shits when I was small. Like,
yeah. Remember your last NYC show and the pop the snot got? Then yes, that was. So what Todd's bringing up here is Todd used to come to almost every one of my shows.
Yeah.
And there was this one show where my stable Snot was really like, we were starting to catch on here. We had it was me. We had John Pun, who was Flag Boy at the time.
Right.
Mario Bocara, Sammy Callahan, Kevin Matthews, and we were just growing by numbers. And it was, I believe, Joel Maximo, Mike Verna, and Blake Morris, some local guys, versus Kevin Matthews, Azriel, and I want to say Mario Bocara, I believe it was. And half the crowd is chanting FSW, and the other half of the crowd is chanting Snot. And we're supposed to be the bad guys. And all I'm hearing is, Snot, FSW, Snot, 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 you know, and it's...
Get a tissue!
And I was managing at that time, you know, I was on the outside, so being able to hear that, I looked over the pun, and I'm like, this isn't supposed to be happening, man, like, fuck it, let's roll with it. And I kind of caught a little heat from Joel in the back after, and I was like, I can't control what the fans say, you know.
Right, of course not.
You know, I can try to be heel, you know, but if they like us, they like us. I mean, we were selling out of shirts like every show.
That's good, man.
It was really beginning to take hold, and then, you know, fortunately that happened to be the last show we ran, and we had so much steam behind us, man. That was an amazing moment.
That was some shit, man. Now I got a question, and if Pun's still watching,
yes, he is. He's still there.
If you guys were to decide to split the faction, who's gonna turn on who?
Ooh.
What?
Ooh. Ooh.
Whoa, that's a challenge.
You know what? I gotta tell you, from knowing them for so long, I say Pun turns on you.
Really?
What?
Pun has a fuse. He has the fuse, and it could go off at any second. I guarantee you, he's probably going to agree with me that he'll in the chat.
Should I call? He said.
Let's get my partner in on here.
Let's call him.
Call in, man.
You can call, and we can go
I don't
a few
know.
minutes over.
I really.
I'm telling you, Pun turns on you.
I don't know. I really.
I
don't know
not
how that would go
suggesting to
down.
break up the
But I will
faction.
tell you that is an interesting. That's an interesting question because it's something honestly I would love to see. I wouldn't want to break up the team after everything we're doing. But I would love to see me and him, what me and him nowadays, what me and him can do.
There
you know?
it is. It's gotta be him.
Pun, you there?
It's gotta be him.
Oh, that is
Oh, he's
the
calling you out.
man.
The best tag team partner of all time.
The greatest tag team partner in the world. In the world.
Yes. But you know, I gotta say, if we were to break up, I think KRIS would be the one to backstab me.
Ooh.
Oh my wow.
That sound like a Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels bit right there.
See, it's hard to say because we kind of have like that equal personality where we're both equally sneaky. So
it could be either way.
Are you saying to me that you guys are both
I can see you
underhanded?
doing it, yo, Chris. I can see you doing the sweet chin music.
Like, it's kind of like this. It's like
I swear
we cannot be trusted. I cannot. I cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted. And the both of us together, we cannot be trusted. So it's kind of like
motherfuckers
to see who would turn on who. That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
That'd be like a.
See, we do trust each other. We do trust each other.
You know, it'd be interesting if you guys do like a little bit of rendition of like a backstabbing, but like do like how like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty did when Shawn Michaels kicked him through the Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window. That'll be fun. I can see you doing that sweet chin music. I can see you doing that. I can see you doing it. That'll be interesting.
Well, he wasn't. They're suggesting of throwing you through a window.
You're not getting a lot of love here. Yo, you might have to come in here like next week and defend yourself, bro.
Oh my god.
You know, I have a feeling that it's gonna happen though, you know.
Wait a second. Okay, so now the first New York City show in over 2 years is happening. Now, is this possibly like a preview of maybe just a local scene having to split, but nationwide still being running as a solid team?
I don't know how that would work because I mean, if we split, we split like. If we're not a tag team here, we're not going to be a tag team anywhere. Like
that'll
point.
Especially if he turned on me.
Actually,
you think I want to go on the road with this guy?
I actually have a gripe with that because depending on what organization
that would be
you're in,
pretty interesting if we got contacted by a promoter after we turned on each other. Yeah, I still want to use you guys as a tag team, even though you hate each other.
Yeah, like
that'd be a good storyline. That'd be fucking amazing.
That would bring drama, if anything.
Well, no, the reason
one of us would have to move out the house.
The reason why I say that is that, like, for example, now when you see guys like Ricochet over in the UK, you know in your brain from watching them on New York, well, not New York, in the US, you see him as Prince Puma from Lucha Underground.
Wow.
So, knowing the fact that you have this happening, I don't see it being a thing unless you're an actual true fan of the actual wrestler, that you notice the difference from promotion to promotion. So it just may work. You never know.
I don't think it will work out.
Being on the inside, I just don't like the look of it, you know. They us in episode.
Find me on Facebook.
And then somebody else.
And
I'll
be sure to send you an autograph. If you give me your info.
I missed that.
Oh, Pun, you there?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, I missed that question.
No, I was answering one of these questions here. Someone wants an autograph from me.
Says okay, many things.
One of the listeners on the show. That means we got to get you down here, Pun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have Snot on the show. We need the tag team on the show.
We're gonna have to work on that.
And group photos too while we're at it.
Cross promotion, man.
It sounds like they want us to split up over here, man. I don't like that.
No. I like you guys. I like the attitude.
No matter what, that's not going to happen.
Right.
The brotherhood is too strong for us to break up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, not split up. I would just say, like, you know, just like fight each other, just get mad at each other.
No, I mean
the same thing about.
No, honestly, I'll tell you, like, if I would love to work him one-on-one, just because, like, just to see the progression, and like, I've been helping him, I've been training him, and
it'll be like
it'll be nice to see him like apply what I taught him and what he already knows.
It'll be like a Bret Hart and Benoit match.
Actually, I have a better,
Triple H Shawn
more
Michaels
recent
match.
idea that along the lines of the way it would work is actually an NXT where Johnny Wrestling had to go against Tommaso Ciampa in the Cruiserweight Classic.
Hey.
If you remember, in the beginning of the thing, it was one of their first matches, which actually led to a great storyline now of them fighting against each other for Gargano to get back into NXT. Which actually, again, like, if it were put into a tournament, I'd actually like to see that, though.
Yeah, man.
It would have fucking all out.
For us to wrestle each other, it would have to make sense. You know, and like if a title's on the line, that's something we're both gonna want.
Yeah.
You know.
We have a suggestion in the comment section. Tag team matchup: Chris and his partner versus Carasso and
Jimmy. They don't want that.
TLC.
They don't want that. You're talking about trained professionals here.
Exactly.
We got rookies over here.
And the special guest referee, Hornswoggle.
Oh man. Can we switch it up? Me and Pun versus one of them, Hornswoggle?
Oh yes, definitely.
Definitely.
Jimmy Hornswoggle.
Even Pun's agree with me.
Why Jimmy Hornswoggle? Why not me?
He's got the background. I'll be the ref.
Doritos, you're bringing all of them.
Did you say Doritos? Oh man, I can't. Oh man, then I can't wrestle then.
Marlene says she wants to be the ref.
I called it first. God damn it!
I don't know about that. She doesn't have very much reffing experience.
Only if she wears a freaking zebra stripe bra.
All you have to do is come to me and get out my way. That's it.
She should be a distraction. She should be a distraction for me.
All right, Pun. Thanks for calling in, man. I'll keep in touch with you.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. We are actually like at time, so
we are.
Yeah, we're at like an hour and 6 minutes.
Holy shit!
Time flies when you're having fun, brother.
Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a slight little break, like we usually do. Our EP is actually outside, smoking up the neighborhood.
Yes.
But we will be back. We will have our weather report by our personal weather person, Sean.
And debut the new commercial.
So hopefully he'll be prepared. The new commercial is here. Rex will be back for episode 2.
I will be back. Yeah.
He'll be here.
Wait. Y'all got my booking fee, right?
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
I'm not going to get the house is light tonight.
Booking fee the whole time. All right. Well, we will be back in a few minutes. If you don't catch us, go fuck yourself. But we will catch you all on the flip side.